No, it's not enough, Skip. He needs to win it all because winning a title cements a player's already existing great legacy. It doesn't redefine it. It enhances it. And that's what it's going to take for me because right now, Skip, I don't have Chris Paul, for whatever it's worth, I don't have him in my top 5 point guards. Magic, Isaiah, Steph Curry, Oscar, and J. Kidd. And I know people keep talking about J. Kidd. Skip, I don't think people realize just how good J. Kidd was because he has the exact same resume unless Chris Paul is Chris Paul. He's a 10-time All-Star. He's a 5-time All-NBA first team. He's a 9-time All-Defensive guy, 4 times first team. He's a 5-time assist leader. So don't poo-poo J. Kidd that I think he has the second most assists all time. So don't pretend like Jason Kidd was a bum because he was far from it. And so if Chris Paul was to get that one of those, I believe he warrants being in the top 5. Now, he ain't catching Magic. He ain't catching Steph. So you can forget. I don't believe he can catch Isaiah because Isaiah was special. I mean, you look at what he was going against to win titles when Magic, Bird, and Jordan were in the prime. Yeah. I'm going to give Isaiah a lot more credit than people give him credit for. So for me, Skip, I believe it would be the final brick in his mosaic that if he were to finish this off, 16 years, toiling, but it just goes to show you. Can you imagine? You see what Chris Paul is with Devin Booker in year 16? Imagine what he would have been with Kobe Bryant in year 5, year 6, year 7, year 8. He would have more. This would not be his first time going to the finals had he had linked up with Kobe. So for me, Skip, he needs this. He needs to finish this off to cement his rightful place in basketball history. Getting there is not enough.
Okay. And let's do the hypothetical negative.
Yes.
What if, as a solid favorite in the finals, they lose to an undermanned Milwaukee that doesn't have Giannis?
Yeah. Giannis is not going to play at all?
No, I'm just saying, I'm doing the hypothetical. What if you lost to the Bucks without Giannis? What would that do to your legacy? It wouldn't be good.
No, it wouldn't be good. But he still would have an opportunity. It's not like Skip, this is his last go-round, so he'll get an opportunity. I mean, just like a lot. Everybody's Skip. Everybody's not like a Bird or Magic or Jordan. Their first time getting their Skip, they win it. More times than not, or Tim Duncan, who goes 4 times before he even knows anything about a defeat, and then finds, and loses, and then comes back and wins it again. But he has as good a chance as any, Skip, and you never know. I don't know if he'll ever get a better opportunity because the West is loaded, and you can't count on guys being hurt. You can't count on the other side being hurt. The Nets are going to be back.
I agree.
They'll be improved.
This is Chris Paul's time to shine,
yes,
to seize the opportunity to cement his legacy.
Right.
Now, I will tell you this. On Saturday, Ernestine and I saw our man, Lil Wayne, and so he and I started. I promised Ernestine I wouldn't talk sports, but I couldn't help but talk some about Chris because Wayne and Chris are really close from their early days back in 06 in New Orleans when they were both, Wayne was just taken off, and Chris came as a rookie to New Orleans Hornets at that point. So it was Wayne's opinion, and he's been talking to Chris every day, that Chris is really good with this. Like, this was all he ever wanted, was to break through and get to the finals, and that no matter what happens after this, he's good to go. Like, he's completely, not that he doesn't want to win it, but that the breakthrough he achieved with the game of his life. And that was the game of,
Yeah, that was the best game he's ever played.
Ever played.
Yeah.
It just came out of nowhere when I least expected it, but there it was.
And we thought the Denver game was special. Remember, Skip, he had 37 in that closeout game.
He did.
And we said that was special.
But they weren't threatened at that point.
Right, they were already up 3-0.
Yeah, and this one, I thought, silly me, I thought the Clippers would win it, and I thought they were about to go on a roll late, and when they cut it to 7. And then here came Chris Paul. I've never seen anything like it before because it's not like he's been known as an explosive scorer in his career, but he was that night at age 36. And it was on sheer will. And now I find out that he did it with some torn ligament in his shooting wrist.
That man beat y'all with one hand? Well, that man beat a Clipper with one hand.
Did the ball go through? Yeah.
One hand, still had one hand. See, Skip, I believe guys say that. And we've heard a lot of guys say that. It's kind of like Skip with the awards. What do we hear? I don't. If I win, it's okay.
I got
nominated. No, you want to win. Stop that line.
No, I got it. But Wayne's point was that Chris is just ecstatic that he finally got to a finals, and that in his heart of hearts, he's good with this, even though he obviously wants to win the finals.
I tell you what, if he think he's good with it, let him lose to this team, and you will see if he still feels the same way.
Especially let him lose to this. Now I got the flies on my side.
Yeah, good. See, I told you.
Yeah, they're coming over
that bogus argument.
They didn't like what I just said about Chris Paul, because these flies are obviously Chris Paul fans. But I will remind everybody, and I'm going to draw flies for saying this, but remember, Chris's playoff legacy wasn't pretty.
No.
Going into Wednesday night, it wasn't that pretty. He blew a 3-1 lead with the Clippers. He'd blown 2-2-0 leads.
Right.
If I go all the way back to that 08 year against the Spurs, my Spurs at that point in New Orleans, they were up 3-2 and lost game 6
He
and
had
7.
lost 2 of the 3 games that he had played in this series.
And he'd lost those. And they had won 2 games without him in this series.
Yes.
So it was like wrong. Right. And it's like one spectacular night of nights. I can't even get comfortable with what he did, because I wake up in the morning and my first thought is, did I dream that?
He did that.
He did that.
He did. But Skip, I think the thing is, look, because a lot of time, just if you don't have a championship, it does not mean you're not a great player. You can be a great player. But I think in order for you to be one of these historically great players, Skip, you get ranked according to titles. It's easy for us to well, who's the greatest 2 guard of all time? Well, it's Mike. He's 6-0. Okay, 2, Kobe. 3, D. Wade. It's easy because they have championship. Okay, Harden might be able to say, you know what about me? Well, Harden, we can't put you in the top 3 when you ain't got no rings. How you go in front of Jordan? How you go in front of Kobe? How you go in front of D. Wade?
Agreed.
Well, CP, how you go in front of guys that got multiple championships, got MVPs, if you don't have no rings and they have them?
Got to have at least one.
You got to have at least one.
And you know what? I'll say this for Chris Paul. He deserves to have 1 ring.
Yes.
But he's got to earn it.
Right.
It's not going to be given to him.
No.
And you didn't want to see him at age 39 go along from the ride as a backup point guard for a team that wins a ring.
Right.
This is his time to be the driving force of a Phoenix team that couldn't get over the hump without him.
Correct.
Right?
Yes.
So here we go.
So what did it enhance? It doesn't. Would a win enhance it more than a loss would do detriment to it?
It's just a given he needs to win.
Yes,
but
I agree.
The loss, especially if Giannis doesn't play, would be cataclysmic.
He cannot lose if Giannis doesn't play. He cannot lose this. No, absolutely
not a pretty sight.
No.
Thank you for watching. You can subscribe here to get the latest from the show, and be sure to check out more of the best clips from Undisputed, or go watch a few other segments from our other shows on FS1.